Joe, are your marketing funnels working?
They are,
How do you know?
because I did the marketing audit with Two Brain Business.
Did it actually take 1 hour?
It did.
And did you find any issues that you're addressing right now to improve lead flow?
I found a few issues.
So we're going to fix your funnels, which are already running well, but we're going to make them A plus, get some greasy leads sliding down into your gym so you can help more people change their lives. Are you ready to share what you learned with our listeners?
Yeah, happy to share.
All right, gym owners, this is Joe Rouse of Breakaway Fitness and Performance. He used our new guide to unclog his funnels in less than an hour. He found a lot of good things. He found a couple of things he wants to improve. He took action. His lead flow is going to improve quickly. It's 26 pages of do this, check that, log that. It's going to produce more leads and sales. Do you agree with that, Joe?
I'd agree 100%.
All right, so we're going to find out what Joe did in his audit. But first, if you want a copy of this guide, click the link in the show notes. It's 26 pages, and it's going to come with a done-for-you video with Chris Cooper, where he's going to lead you exactly through everything step by step. 26 pages, less than an hour. Chris found some clogs. Joe found some clogs. They both fixed them. Their lead flow will improve. You will get more clients. You will earn more. You will change more lives. You'll fulfill your mission as a gym owner. Get this guide. Link is in the show notes. This, of course, Run a Profitable Gym. I'm your host, Mike Warkentin. We're going to dig into this with Joe. Ready? All right, let's do it. First question, to help anyone decide if they want this guide. Did you find this to be a valuable exercise? And you can throw this right back in my face if you did not, because you were the very first person to fill this guide out for us.
As somebody who has used the marketing audits as a client of Two Brain, as somebody who's been in business for over 12 years, I was surprised how much value I found in it, to be honest.
This is good. I'm excited about that because we put this thing together. Chris submitted. He's like, I think this is going to really help a lot of gym owners. And we always test stuff. So I want to throw it by you and get your opinion first. Then we had Chris record the entire walkthrough. And Chris, as a gym owner, said the same thing. He's like, wow, I can't believe what I found, even though I've had my gym for 20 years. If I fix this today, which he did, it's going to change my lead flow immediately. So let's go into this. And I want to know the number one thing that you discovered in your marketing funnels. Like, what action are you taking right now to address the big thing?
Well, I took a little bit of action like while I was doing it, and it still took less than an hour. So I wanted to make sure I said that. I updated some of the automated texts that follow up and things like that. But the biggest thing that I need to take action on is I realized, or brought to my attention, made me more mindful of the fact that we have three main people that post consistently on our social media business channels. Okay. And it's led to a lot of workout content, which I need to mix up. But even though we have an SOP, even though we have a content calendar with specific days for posting specific things, between three of us, we are not all following that schedule consistently because there's just not any accountability. I mean, I have great employees, very trustworthy, but we have specific nutrition content. I do specific blogs. And then I have another coach who runs our semi-private program and our youth program. And there's not enough communication between the three of us to get that stuff consistent. Okay,
so right away, so we have this guide takes you through everything from the very, like, we're going to help you look at your gym as an outsider, find out what Google shows you, find out what AI shows you. We're going to look at your social media, your lead nurture, your sales and closing, all in less than an hour. And you found that your major problem was just in social media consistency, even though you have an SOP, you just need to get back on track with it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess consistency is not really the right word.
Okay.
It was more following the schedule. It's getting posted, but not on the not with the actual schedule that we have in place, because we're not communicating enough as a team specifically on that. I've never considered that that's something that should be communicated more in a team meeting or in its own meeting, is like our social media posting. So that's the biggest thing it's going to lead to, is probably an established, at least a monthly meeting.
Yeah, and this is incredibly common. You build a process, or first of all, you don't have a process. That's what I did for about 10 years as a gym owner. When Two Brain helped me out, I built these processes. Then I let them rot, or they weren't followed to the letter and they were built perfect, but they just didn't get implemented or they didn't get updated. That's very, very common. So you found a spot where I have a thing. We could just do a better job of following that thing. And there's other stories like this. One of our mentors, Kenny Markwart, I remember he was on vacation. He was watching like a pod of dolphins off the beach in Mexico or something. He looks at the gym's social media. He finds that no one's posted in 2 weeks. His social media manager happens to be his wife sitting next to him, and they have a little bit of a disagreement in paradise or something like that. That happens. Yeah. Chris has SOPs for everything at his gym. He looked, and I'll tip my hand a little bit here. He looked at his Google business profile and found that the reviews were not consistent. He hadn't been responding to reviews, and he hadn't made a post in a few months. And he was just like, whoa, Like this needs to get fixed immediately because Google Business Profile is a huge part of SEO. And if you're active on there, things are going to go better. So he did the same thing. Less than 60 minutes, he walked through this entire thing and he found a couple of places where he could improve. Let's talk about things that the guide confirmed, because you work with a two-brain mentor. You've gone through a lot of this stuff. So you were able to check a lot of boxes and say, perfect, perfect, perfect. What are you doing right at your gym that this guide confirmed?
The thing that comes to mind, there was a few things that were good, and it's partially because I've done an audit similar to this before with my mentor, Two Brain. But the biggest thing that's probably the tightest for me is my lead follow-up systems. A lot of it's automated, but leads aren't going to fall through the cracks for us.
Yeah, and I saw that. Like when I looked at your guide, your follow up is A+. You've got automations, you've got all the stuff that comes in, and people get a response, and that's something that Chris checked his funnels as well. He literally on camera, he clicked into his funnel. He uses a Kilo website, so everything was perfect. He got a text on his watch right away saying, "Hey, thanks for contacting us." Da, 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 da. He called his gym, and he knew the guy was there, but he also got to the machine. But again, that's realistic in many gyms because a lot of calls, I think, as you said, calls are often spam. We don't have people sitting by phones every single time, but the follow up for a message or a phone call has to be quick. And that's another place where gyms will find out. Like I had a phone at my gym and someone checked the machine monthly maybe. And that's a huge mistake because we check it and there was literally someone saying, "Hey, how do I join your gym?" You're like, well, that was 4 weeks ago. They've clearly joined another gym. But your follow-up, it was very fast. It was like 2 to 5 minutes or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, always. And if somebody calls, we're not great about getting calls either because it's a gym specific phone, but it's set up to automatically text them right after they call. And if they leave a voicemail, it shows up in that, that messaging thread so we can answer that. But it also just texts them. It says, "Hey, sorry we missed your call. How can we help?"
Yeah. And the phone is super important in gyms, but at the same time, communications are shifting into like DMs and texts and things like that. So it's not the end of the world if you don't have a person sitting next to your phone. I would suggest it's a really horrible thing if your phone rings, you never get a good message. You never get a message that tells you how to take the next step. You never respond to messages, and those leads just move on to the next thing. And that might often be the older demographic, 50 plus, or it might be someone else who just prefers a real chat with a real person. So, fix the phone thing. What else are you doing right in there? Your Google business profile, I believe, was excellent as well. Am I right?
Yeah, Google Business is something we kept up with for a while now. And when you have the right software, and you pre-schedule social media posts, you can add Google My Business in there. So that's been really helpful for keeping that up to date for us. And I think, that in collaboration with blogs and having the website the right way, I think that's led to us doing well, even with newer stuff like Google AI.
Yeah.
I showed up a little bit lower than I would like to show up with Google AI for gyms near me, but personal trainer was great. But a good example is yesterday. Like this literally happened yesterday. A guy messaged me on Facebook and he said, "Hey, I'm looking for a male personal trainer who can either come to my house or maybe I can come to you. I'm 51. I'm looking to get ripped for the first time in my life." Like that's literally what he typed me.
Nice.
And I said, "Oh, great. How did you find out about me specifically?" And he said, "I just typed it into Google." He was a realtor, so he appreciated this. And he said, "I typed it into Google," and he sent me the screenshot. And he just typed in looking something like the best male personal trainer in Hampstead, North Carolina. And AI listed it off, and then it had my name on there first, which was really, really interesting to see.
Wow. So AI sent you a lead or client?
Yeah. Wow.
What do you think it was? And I did see this post that you posted in our private growth group. What do you think it was that caused AI to select you? What have you been publishing and doing that gave, this is something we weren't going to talk about, but this is a huge deal. Yeah. What do you think it was that gave AI the tip that said, "Joe's the man"?
I'm consistent with, we blog twice a week.
There it is.
I know that supposedly that's not as important as it used to be, but we do blog twice a week and that information gets shared to social media and gets emailed out. And we have over, I think, 119 5-star Google reviews.
Yeah,
that's important. And we post to our Google business page several times a week. Like every time we post to Facebook, we're also posting to the Google business page. So those, I would say, were probably the three most important things. We, just over a month ago, also set up kind of a baseline we started running Google ads, which we hadn't done in a while. I don't know that affects the AI part of it or not, but Those are the main things that we do with Google.
Yeah, and the inner workings of search engines and algorithms and all and AI are like very closely protected, and lots of people try to sell you the info that I know how to hack it. No one really does unless they work for the companies and have signed all their non-disclosure agreements. But the reality is, we know for sure that if you publish more stuff and it's good and people read it and like it and it's clear, you stand a better chance of being found by search engines and AI, because they first of all, you give them signs of life that I exist and I'm intelligent and I'm I'm publishing things. People are clicking into them and reading them. That's always good. And then if the information is clear, and it's certainly clearer than anyone else around you, you're going to start moving up on those rankings. Like, that's not any search engine wizardry. That is just like the blunt thing where if you publish regularly and tell people clear information, you will slowly start to build your business, and Google and AI will help. And the prime example of this is obviously Chris Cooper has been publishing stuff for 20 years, built it into a major gym and a major mentorship company. That's the principle. It starts small, but this is part of that exercise. Like, if you search, and Chris has this in here, if you start searching Google and use AI and you don't show up at all, but all your competitors do, you're going to look at what they're doing and you can start saying, I need to do this too. So if you, like Joe, you came up, like you popped up in there and you said you'd like a little bit higher, but again, some of that is like exactly the search terms or the location and things like that. But you popped up.
Depends.
Yeah. But if you found out, like some of the gyms you said ahead of you, I think were they big box gyms or something, a different training style? Is that right?
Yeah. The only ones that I recall, at least when I was reviewing the audit this morning, the only ones that showed up had higher than me for the gym near me type search was big box style gyms. And they're hard to beat in Google search ranking. When you just for that gym near me, they're really hard to beat. But personal trainer near me, we're always at the top.
So that's a huge thing, right? So maybe you're not going to beat, Good Life is the big chain up in Canada. Down there, what's a big one near you guys? Chain gyms?
Well, for us, it's actually local. They're local. The ones that are in my town. I'm in a very small town.
Yeah.
But here you probably see like a Lifetime Fitness.
Sure. So stuff like that, it's tough to beat those guys in the overall rankings, but ultimately most of those gyms are selling access rather than coaching. So when you search, if someone searches like personal trainer near me, group fitness near me, or classes, fitness classes, if you start to pop up in those rankings, that's going to be a huge deal. And for you, that did. So obviously you're doing something right on your website. And on that website, you've got a clear form, a clear call to action. Like when I saw your page there, you just click through all the boxes like, yep, got this. Everything works. You click in. So when a lead goes to your site, it's obvious exactly what they need to do, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's there's several places for them to click, but we also have it set where it pops up with with a box for them to fill out. And that goes straight into our software and has automated follow-ups immediately.
So social media is going to be the area of focus. What are you going to do there exactly to make this like, I'd suggest that you're at like an A level here. What would an A plus look like if you start addressing your social media? What's your exact plan today as a result of this audit?
The first step, the action that I can take today that I didn't really talk about was the top 3 pin posts on Instagram.
Hey, there it is.
That make that allow for the ability of the people that are checking us out to not necessarily have to go to our website to find out how to get started. So they can, use those pin posts at the top of Instagram. And what's his name? John Franklin. Is that his?
Two-brain CEO. Yep.
Yeah. He put up a good post about that the other day about just what to put on those pin posts at the top about like next steps or who we are, what we do, how to take the next step. So that's the first action step for me was getting that done. And the second thing is scheduling a meeting between myself, the general manager, and then the other 2 people that post consistently. So our main nutrition coach, which is my wife, kind of similar to that. So that takes delicate communication.
Right.
And then my afternoon coach, who owns the semi-private and the youth program.
Okay. So listeners, let's be real here. When was the last time you updated your pinned posts? When was the last time you right? Like they're probably old, right? Like we all forget about that. The highlights, those are also not just pin posts, but those little highlight circles on Instagram, right below your bio. Have you updated those? Are they still current? Do they still have the services that you're offering? Check that stuff. How about the bio? Is your bio accurate? Does it tell people immediately what you do? Or is it something kind of cryptic or cool or artistic, right? Like, does it tell you exactly in 3 seconds what you do and who you do it for? Click the link in bio. What does that do? It's incredibly common to find broken links in there where it's like, click link in bio to get more info. And it's like, that goes nowhere. And so when people start clicking links that are dead, Nothing happens. And again, I'll tell you, that's incredibly common when we audit websites, to go to a gym website, put in info into a form and get nothing, or the form is broken, right? So gym owners will be like, I'm not getting any leads. And the first thing our mentors will look is like, audit your funnel, click in as an outsider, have a friend do it. What happens? The form's broken. So you are getting leads. You're just telling them 404,
Yeah.
which is the worst thing. Go ahead.
And the link in the bio is such an easy thing you don't even have to pay for that service anymore, because if you use any kind of CRM, you can create that in there very, very easily.
Yeah. So these things are all just very simple. And that's why this guide is so great. It's so fast. You can literally find a hole, and it's going to take you, you could just quickly pin 3 more posts if you want, or you could, be a little more calculated, but you can fix this stuff really quickly. You audited your sales process as well. So we look at you've got a good lead flow coming in. You've got a great nurture system. You've got your appointments booked. Everything is clear. You said that there's a couple of things you found in your sales process, which is good, but you're thinking an upper level gym owner now about maybe handing some of this off. So talk about what you need to do in your sales process.
Yeah, I've been our biggest bottleneck for sales for a long time.
Okay.
And recently serving jury duty for 2 days and doing this audit made a couple things more apparent to me that I was aware of, but just probably brought them more front and center. Because I had 4 appointments scheduled with potential new people, and then I had to go to jury duty. So I had to hand all those off to my manager. So our sales process is tight, but it's not easy for somebody to understand if they haven't trained in it consistently. And we've done some training. But I could simplify it, and I could create an SOP to help explain it a little more effectively, just with some videos and things like that, so that it can be passed off. And I've gone through phases or intervals, if you will, of training our manager as far as role play goes in our sales process. So he's aware of it, and he's good to go. He can do it, but sales should be practiced all the time. And we don't do that consistently enough. So that was probably the biggest thing for me, is creating, at least updating or creating a more simplified SOP, and then making sure I'm regularly training them in that.
Yeah. So we call this the hit by a bus test in Two Brain, where it's if you vanish from your gym for a week or 2 weeks, would the whole place fall apart without you? And you got the 2-day hit by a jury test where you had to go and sit there in a civic courtroom and try and decide if you're going to be on the jury or not. And you had to say, okay, I got to pass off these appointments, which, to your credit, you've made you're ahead of so many gym owners. You have a sales process. You've got this thing laid out. You can pass it off and it works. But you figured, if I wanted to do this more efficiently and ensure a higher close rate or more success, we would make this a little bit easier. And then we'd have more reps for my backup guy, so that when we put when the backup quarterback goes in, he's not just handing the ball off, he's throwing some touchdowns too, right? That's exactly it. And many gym owners will find they don't have a sales process at all. It's not documented. They don't have it. They certainly don't practice it. That was me for a long time. You've gone the other way, where you have all this stuff. Now it's just refining it, tweaking the dials a little bit to make sure that it's perfect. And if you do that, the result is first, if you get called away for something, nothing changes. Second, if you wanted to do something else and maybe, I don't know, go out and take 3 weeks off, you literally could with no drop off. And we've seen this with Two Brain gym owners. When they build these systems, they're able to ensure exact A+ standards of delivery in every aspect of their business, even if they're not there for months.
It was really important. It's important to point out with this guide that was included, right? Because this is the 1-hour marketing audit.
Right.
But the sales part was included. And I know early on as a business owner, I've had mentors over the years, but early on, and I say early, the first 5 years or so, I didn't really understand what it meant to have a standard operating procedure and a sales process. I understood, okay, you got to meet with people, you have to get them into a membership, but I didn't fully understand that because I just didn't have the right guidance and the right training on it. So having that early on as a gym owner would be extremely helpful.
Yeah. And that's exactly it. And again, in Two Brain Mentorship, we teach you exactly how to build that stuff. So it's not like you have to come up with your own sales systems. We literally have a process for putting this thing in place. We call it a no sweat intro, tell you exactly how to get this thing set up, how to build it into your websites and everything else, how to make a sales binder, how to talk about closing, handling objections, all the stuff that you need to do. It's not mystery science. It is step by step. And if you get these things in place and practice them, we've seen gym owners take close rates from 20% to 70, 80%, and everything changes at that point. Again, it's not all about the money. It's about helping people. Coaching, as Chris Cooper says, sales is the first act of coaching, right? So if you can't get people to start in your business, you can't help them. You need to help them make the right decision. So We're not going to take more than an hour to talk about a 1 hour marketing guide. So Joe, I'm going to wrap this up by just asking, give me your honest opinion here. How valuable would this be for a guide how valuable would this guide be for a new gym owner or someone who doesn't have a mentor?
I think it'd be extremely valuable, mostly because it would help you grow your business faster if you don't have a mentor, because these are some of the things your mentor is going to guide you through or hold you accountable to do. Mm-hmm. The layout, the visual aspect of this guide was really helpful for me. Like, as someone who audits our marketing funnel at least once a year, it still brought things to my attention. Like, I think it's valuable as a quarterly audit. And if you didn't have a mentor, this guide you through it in a simple enough way to where you can understand it and you could take action right away.
Would you use this again quarterly?
Yeah, actually, I plan to. It's going to be linked into my marketing calendar, where I have I have a calendar for my audits, my quarterly audits, and this will be linked into that for sure, because it's quick, it's simple, and it's easy to use.
Oh, that's awesome. So this, listeners, this is Chris Cooper's gift to you. You can get this thing, link in the show notes. You can get it for free and work through this. If you don't have a mentor, I highly recommend that you do this exercise. This is going to help you solve a ton of problems in your marketing. At that point, if you want to go further, this is just a taste of what a mentor can do. Book a call, talk to Two Brain, tell them what you want to do with your business. We'll tell you how to do it, step-by-step plan, and a mentor will guide you through that and help you do it. But the first step here, check out that guide. It's just Chris put this thing together as a gift to you to help you fix your marketing, get more clients, change more lives. Get it today. Joe, thank you so much for doing the audit, sharing it with us, and talking about it here on the show. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, man, happy to be here. It's a good time.
Thank you all for listening. This is Run a Profitable Gym. I'm your host, Mike Warkentin. Please subscribe for more episodes and be sure to click that link in the show notes to get that guide.